Welcome back to the 2024 Minto US Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville. They look at the men's pro doubles bracket. J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier, the 1 seed. They made quick work of Kyle Yates and William Sobek in their semifinal match earlier today. And now they're awaiting the winner of this one, the 2 seed, Andrei, Daescu, and Gabriel Tardio. Taking on Jack Munro and Andrei, Mick, and a couple of young players, including Gabriel Tardio, who is just 18 years old and resides in nearby Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah. Daescu right there on screen. I tell you what, if you want to talk about a guy that has been playing extremely well in the last year and a half or so, that's one guy right there. 2023 US Open champion for pro doubles. Pro split age as well. And then we take a look at Gabe Tardio. Gabe Tardio actually when we first saw him was at one of our tournaments in Tampa in 2020. And he caught the attention of everybody there. Skinny kid, glasses, and came out and just wiped up the court.
Did he go through the Next Gen program too?
He did.
So
played
he
some
would
Next
have
Gen.
been 14 at that point. And
Andrei Mick,
yep,
fellow Australian right there, and Jack Munro, part of the Next Gen series as well. I've had the opportunity to coach him over the last year or so.
Part of the national team that's also been playing internationally as
well.
well.
We had the Atlantic Cup against Team Europe a couple of months ago.
well, Daescu and Tardio, they've not lost a game so far today in getting to this semifinal. Jack Munro and Andrei Mick, they were tested by Hunter Johnson and Yates Johnson in the quarterfinals. They dropped the first game 4-11 and then came back 11-4, 11-5.
And Andrei Daescu, the reigning champion from the US Open Men's Pro Doubles last year, where he partnered with Kyle Yates.
Yes.
So we are close to getting this one underway, and
yeah, it's still a tremendous crowd that's here to support these gentlemen for this semifinal match. The winner getting the opportunity to play again tomorrow evening, right here again live on CBS Sports Network.
Well, for those fans that walked out and are trying to find their way back in, I'm going to call it right now that this one's going to be pretty fast-paced as well. Andrei Mick, not a big fan of the slower game, has a big drive, good speed-ups. Jack Munro, some of the fastest hands as well. And he can pull some tricks out of his bag. If you've ever followed him on Instagram, you can see some of those.
Yeah, and I've been around Jack since he was 13 years old.
Youngest 5-0 right there at 13.
Yeah, and so we actually had a shirt made for him. It said Junior Mint.
Junior Mint,
yeah.
oh, that's awesome. So here we go. Gabe will get it started at 0-0-2.
And that's the danger right there of getting anything elevated to Andrei Mick. Played collegiate tennis at Cleveland State University. And he's at the Wembley Club there in Cleveland.
He has a baseball player look to him too. Did he play baseball?
No, tennis. His parents own a tennis facility in Melbourne, Australia.
And Mick dispenses of that to get the first point of the match.
Maybe just Australians have a certain look. I don't know.
The ATP, and it's for profit.
Munro was there to defend it. He's going to be frustrated with that one, but an excellent ATP around the post there by Andrei Daescu. Let it develop.
And you talk about Andrei Daescu and the success that he has. I mean, within a 6-month period, you know, he took down the world #1 like 3 times.
Yes.
Daescu with a tennis background, originally born in Romania. And right on cue into the net.
Yeah, good change of direction there from Munro.
0-1-2.
Typically, you don't want to test the hands of Andrei Daescu.
Mick couldn't catch up to that one. And we draw even at 1 apiece. 1-1-2.
Oh,
nice job laying off that one by Tardio.
yeah, somehow Munro got that first one back. Just got it off the edge of the paddle. Not able to keep it in on the second one.
And from the baseline, Daescu couldn't get it over, so the side out will get it back over to Munro and Mick.
Actually, Andrei Mick, one of the few players that actually beat Andrei Daescu in men's doubles in 2023.
Great deception there by Tardio. That'll give Munro now his opportunity to serve. Munro was a baseball player. Says he actually picked up pickleball because he got hurt and couldn't play baseball, and then he fell in love with pickleball.
Basketball as well, just an all-around athlete.
Yeah, he took a break from pickleball to pursue a career in basketball, play some high school basketball. Came back to pickleball.
Side out. And the side out, we'll get it back over to Daescu and Tardio. 2-2-1. Mick with the flick of the wrist, but he misses.
That one just wide. Andrei Mick plays high risk, high reward pickleball.
Mick hits so many of those dinks with the two hands on the paddle.
Yeah, and the way he does that shot, it's pretty, you just know where he's going to go.
Yeah, he used to hit one hand backhand and try to cut it a little bit more, and then went to the transition with the two hand. Gets that ball nice and close to the body.
Does he get more control that way with the two hands
Yes.
on there, Chad?
Yeah. Yeah, that's more about adding more spin, adding some top spin, gaining a little bit more control.
And a side out. Two, 4-1.
And that one, again, tried to change direction. You're talking about, you almost know where he's going to go. That's the tough part with Andrei Mick's mechanics there. Because it's so close to the body, he tries to change direction, and it ends up jamming himself.
Too much on that one by Munro. Daescu and Tardio an opportunity here to get some breathing room in this first game. 4-2-1. Point.
Now Mick again just trying to do a little too much there. You're going to stand a chance to beat Daescu and Tardio. You have to play clean pickleball. You can't let those unforced errors creep up.
Daescu speeding it up a little bit and ends up getting a point. 6-2-1.
Second serve.
And that serve does not land in. So move to the second serve.
6-2-2. Side out.
Good spots right there from Andrei Mick. It's that elevated ball, finds the feet of Tardio.
2-6-1.
Mick trying to make something happen, but ends up putting it into the net.
2-6-2.
2-6-2. And a side out.
Side out.
Scoring efficiency has not been high in this game, especially for Munro and Mick. They haven't scored on their last 5 serves.
Point.
But Gabe and Andrei starting to get things together now. Up by 5 at 7-2.
7-2-1. Second serve.
Just misses on the flick there.
I wasn't far off on that one.
7-2-2.
And Daescu and Tardio have done some tournaments together. I know we just saw them just, what, 3 weeks ago in Delray Beach.
Yeah, if they make it through here, they'll get a rematch against J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier, who beat them in Delray.
Little scorpion there by Daescu.
Yeah, good job there from Daescu, getting on top of that one, finding the feet of Munro. And we talk about it quite often of finding the feet. That ball at the toes is so difficult to pick up and try to keep down
7-2-1.
compared to when we try to hit through somebody.
Now, are Jack Munro's hands just faster than my eyes, or does he play right-handed and left-handed?
He serves right-handed, plays left-handed, hits overheads right-handed.
7-2-2.
He will, if he's pulled out wide on that backhand side, switch to a forehand and either speed it up or hit a dink. He is ambidextrous.
What a weapon to have.
Yeah. I like these last couple of points from Andrei Mick with the backhand speed up. He's controlled it more. He's still being aggressive with it, but he's not overdoing it. As I say that, he goes for a little too big on the forehand side.
Two 7-2.
Munro tried to put it to the back of the court, but too deep, and that ends a run of 8 straight serves that did not get a point for Munro and Mick. They close it to 3-7. You know, Chad, you mentioned Andrei Mick, his
3-7-2.
heritage coming from Australia. How popular is pickleball becoming down under?
It's growing. It's the difficulty that we have in Australia is, and like pretty much the rest of the world, is facilities. A good cross-court dink. But like a lot of our tennis facilities, we play on synthetic grass in Australia. We don't, because of the weather. So there's not even as many hard court tennis courts as you know we have here in the U.S. And tennis is still pretty popular in Australia as well. So it's a little bit slower with the facility growth.
Well, Munro and Mick finding a little momentum now. They've reeled off 3 straight.
But yeah, we do have Yeah, we have the Australian Open. We have tournaments throughout in Australia. A couple of prize money tournaments, MLP Australia. Some of the professional tours down there. So the rest of the world is catching up to the US.
Oh,
Not much Mick could do about that, as Daescu and Tardio had them on a string there for a moment. And the side out gets it back over to Daescu and Tardio.
5-1.
Scoring has dried up for them a little bit as well. They've gotten just 1 point their last 7 serves. Well-placed shot there.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot there from Daescu. Munro was sitting on the backhand. Mick, a little late coming over forehand side. Floated that two-hand backhand roll.
Second serve.
Move to the second serve as that one is deep.
it was a nice leave there. I know it can be hard after something just floated through the middle to let those go.
8-5-2.
Oh, there it was right there. Switch to the right hand for the put away.
That was impressive to see.
But Tardio almost taking a ball to the face right there off of the Munro speed up. And quick switch.
He does it so effortlessly.
So when he switches over, he chokes up on it as well. That right hand goes up higher on the grip. He does hit a two-hand backhand.
And you know, there's people that'll tell you don't switch hands, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, if
He does it fast enough though, and he knows exactly where to have that grip from the two-hand backhand.
Munro got one he could hammer home.
I think in pickleball, Chad, it's important that, you know, what works for one might not work for another, and what things people may tell you not to switch hands may work for you. You might have that athletic ability.
Well, the other thing too is with that two-handed backhand, he's already here, so now he takes that left hand off, and there's the right hand forehand. So it's not like it's a big adjustment where we used to see somebody stretching out wide and then doing a full change. As he comes across with the body, he just lets go of the left hand to be able to hit that right-handed.
And for those of you that couldn't see Chad Edwards doing that demonstration, he was using a
Latitude Margaritaville fan.
Yeah.
I didn't have a paddle. It's got a handle on it.
A hand fan. That was good though.
It did the job. I was like really just in awe watching and learning.
Oh, Mick trying to do too much there. Just rush through the stroke.
9-5.
9-5-2.
Make it 10-5, and we've got game point. Regardless of how this one turns out, it's decidedly different than that first men's semi. That the entire match, not the game, the entire match lasted 26 minutes. Oh, that's adding injury to insult.
No, it's like it just got my leg. Just got my leg. I'm okay.
That's one way to get the serve back.
Yeah.
5-10-1.
Daescu finally gets a winner on one that wasn't the overhand.
Well, good job there from Munro and Mick to stay in that point. Daescu Hitting those balls hard down into the court. It does take a little bit of the pace off of it. Gave them the opportunity to get it back, but Daescu didn't let up at all.
Franklin X40, the official pickleball of the US Open Championships, and you got to hit that thing really, 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 really hard, and it's still probably not going to go out of play.
10-5-1.
So game point number 2.
Oh, good leave there from Munro, recognizing that it didn't have enough angle to come back inside the court.
Second serve.
That's the benefit of getting into an early position there on the ATP defense. We saw him take a quick angle back, split that sideline with his feet.
Game point number 3. And that is going to wrap up game number 1. 11-5 in favor of Tardio and Daescu. And they are 1 game closer to playing for gold, but Munro and Mick not done yet. Game number 2 from Naples, Florida, coming your way after this quick timeout.
Pickleball Channel is proud to bring you all the action from Naples, Florida of the Munro US Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margaritaville. More great content is on the way. Matches, tips, instruction, inspiring stories, and more. So remember to subscribe, like, and follow on all your favorite social media platforms and at pickleballchannel.com.
Look at some of the numbers from game 1. Munro and Mick, 24 unforced errors. That's a lot to overcome for 1 game. You want to keep that number in single digits, ideally. Lou Adamson, our referee, one of the many officials helping make this, one of the volunteers, I should say, helping make this tournament happen, as well as the many referees who are also volunteers. So Munro and Mick start with the serve at 0-0-2 here in game 2. Right down the middle by Mick, and he was happy about it.
Yeah, good speed up there from Mick. Good adjustment, didn't try to do too much. Finds the middle, goes right hip, left hip.
Side out.
But then Munro unable to get it back across.
0-1-1.
Oh, how quick were the hands of Tardio there?
Point.
Yeah, Tardio's not lacking any speed in the hands department, but that one just a little too high from Mick. Needs to calm himself back down.
Point.
And now a 2-1 lead for Daescu and Tardio. Gabe Tardio, just
2-1-1.
18 years old. Introduced to pickleball at the age of 14 by his grandfather in Bolivia.
Yep.
Second serve.
Didn't speak much English when he started playing pickleball.
2-1-2.
Trouble.
Point.
Mick tries to cut that backhand there to keep it down, but paddle face was just a little too open. Easy put away there for Daescu.
3-1-2. Point.
Well, the smart play there from Tardio is that on the first speed up, doesn't try to do much with it, just gets a paddle on it, gets that ball back down, and then he's able to counterattack again.
Out of the reach of Daescu there. And a side out.
A good spot there from Munro.
1-4-1.
Just guides that down the line. Daescu was trying to crash hard to the middle.
Nice job coming over to help out was Munro.
2-4-1. Second
Daescu,
serve.
pretty deceptive there. Didn't sell it till the last second. Mick reacted too
2-4-2.
late.
Now, Chad, I know you're a coach for the national team, which Jack Munro is a part of. I mean, what would you tell him if you were coaching him right now?
Well, I like it
4,
right
2,
now
1.
where they've done a couple of shake and bakes, put some pressure on with Mick driving and Munro crashing. That ball just wide. But I like to see them go down the line a few more times, get Daescu away from the middle, have
5, 2,
Tardio
1.
try to step over to the middle as well, and then you can open up either corner. A good spot there for
Second
Mick.
serve.
And I think they were doing what you were describing.
They're trying to open it up right now, and that's in reality, if Andrei Daescu is in the middle of the court, hands are so good, his reach, it's tough to get the ball past him.
Couple of nice digs, but then Munro finally can't get that one to stay in bounds. I mean, Tardio, excuse me, as Munro and Mick will get the serve back here.
That one just clipping the net court and going wide. Mick was going to be caught with his feet still moving. It's going to be a tough ball for him to pick up. So a little lucky there.
3,
Unlucky for Daescu though.
You'll take the luck where you can get it.
Yeah, I like that right there with Munro stepping over, taking that ball in the middle. Wouldn't be surprised if Daescu doesn't return this one here to Munro. Try to take the drive away from Andrei Mick.
4-5-1.
Too much on that
Second
return
serve.
from Mick. Move to 4-5-2.
4-5-2. Side
Now
out.
I side out to get it back over to Daescu and Tardio.
5-4-1.
Oh, Tardio.
And that was well disguised.
Yeah, a little tricky right there. Sells it with the body, speeds everything up
6-4-1.
with the body, and then just nice and controlled with the paddle, slides it back behind Mick. Good change of direction.
Tardio changes it up with a lob,
Just
but
out.
yeah, just a little
Second
long.
serve.
It's a good idea, though.
All right, that's tough to disguise it that much. I mean, Tardio just flicked at the ball. It's hard to control an offensive lob using so much
6-4-2.
wrist.
Tardio finally able to get back up to the kitchen line. Daescu lays off of it.
And not hard to, I mean, not easy to do when you have the height of Daescu.
No, and that's another positive for the game of Andrei Daescu.
Timeout
He
receiver,
knows
7-4.
the height of the ball. He knows his positioning on the court. He knows where his paddle is all the time.
Timeout being taken by Munro and Mick at 7-4 here in game number 2.
Don't leave pickleball behind when you leave the court. Pickleball Channel gives you the world of pickleball in your hands, covering the entire sport. deep into the world of pickleball and keep your game going with Pickleball Channel.
Back here in Naples, Florida, Dave Benz, Melissa McCurley, Chad Edwards, glad to have you along here on coverage of the 2024 Minto US Open Pickleball Championships.
7-4-2.
7-4 here in game 2. And the timeout by Munro and Mick, hoping they can slow down the momentum. Daescu and Tardio just 4 points away from advancing to tomorrow's championship match. Make it 3 points away.
Good patience and ball movement there from Daescu and Tardio.
8-4-2.
Speed up by Daescu, eventually gets hit out of bounds by Mick.
Well, and again, it's a good job from Daescu. The first attack's linear, second attack downward angle. So when Andrei Mick tries to counter, it's now going back up. Difficult to keep in the court.
Quick hands by Tardio, and
just swatting flies right there.
yeah, and that brings us to match point.
10-4-2.
And there it is.
Game.
Boy, they were very efficient. Needed just 15 serves to get 11 points. And they take it 11-4 here in game number 2. So they move on 11-5, 11-4, and have a date with Johnson and Frazier for the gold medal on Saturday. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was really impressive. They make a really good partnership. They move well on the court. They're smart players. They know how to get their opponents out of position. Look forward to tomorrow's championship match.
We're taking a timeout, but our coverage continues with a gold medal match coming up next.